Hey y'all, it's your girl Miss Ann Little Cole. I'm coming to you out of NYC on this early Monday morning. Yeah, so I'm testing this whole thing, StreamYard, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. I didn't realize that nobody was using Hangouts until I would say a couple of weeks. No, I take that back. It was 2 months ago when I started really noticing it because if you all know, I took a huge break from last year up until the summer. Then I returned around about two I returned around July when I was uploading a couple of videos. Then I dipped out for a week, then I returned again. And then I dipped out for the whole month of August. And I returned September for a moment. Then I dipped out. And I've been consistent pretty much since last month, November. And I want to thank all of y'all that's been riding with me because y'all didn't have to. Y'all could have been like, chuck up the deuces. This chick ain't coming back. And if she do, I don't have time for the back and forth, back and forth. So, with that being said, I'm going to give y'all a couple of, updates about my channel. I'm going to be using StreamYard more often because I'm going to be going live often. But the reason why I haven't been doing lives like I was doing last year and even the year before is because I am not as active as I was back when I first started back in 2018 and the year in the past 2 years. So from 18 to the end of 20, I was pretty much on my channel quite a bit. And I really would do lives, but not as consistent as most YouTubers because I work in, on a job that was very intense. So for me, I had to do everything around my schedule because I don't have a set schedule like most people. Because when you work in customer service and retail, wholesale, your life is consumed with the company. I'll be honest with you. Unless you have seniority and you have a set schedule or it comes down to favoritism, you're not going to get those stellar hours, which is the 8:30 to 5 p.m. block or the 9 to 5:30, or I would even say 8 to 4:30 or even 7:30 to 4. Those are like the best hours to work from 7:30 up until 6. Me still not being in a kind of like a mid-level employee in terms of years, I wasn't given that. So I either had to come in mad early or late in the afternoon. So, but still, I would still give content. But then the end of last year, I had an issue with my company, my boss, my GM, and I'm telling the truth. I don't care at this point. I'm tired. It's been a year officially from this, and I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm gonna tell you something. I will never work again in customer service in terms of sales. I'm not doing the shit. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If anybody, I'm gonna give y'all a heads up. If you're a young person, or if you're a person who is going back to school, or you just want an extra job, and you want to work in retail for the hustle on the side, or you want to do it because it's basically, something to get through as a young person, and you really need the money to like have money on the side because you're in school. I'm gonna tell you all the companies to work for. Gap Inc. Whether it's Old Navy, Gap, Banana Republic, that is the best company to work for in retail. I'll be honest with you. You may not get the best hours, but you will be treated with the utmost respect. Also, too, serving jobs. When you're working in a restaurant, when you're a server and when you're a hostess, those are some good jobs. Working as a bartender, pretty good. Also, working in restaurants they're not commercialized, but they're high end, go for those because you'll bring home a lot of money. But there's one thing in common with all those jobs: you have self-respect. Also, too, believe it or not, if you want to make extra money on the side, work in a hospital. Work in a hospital whether it's in housekeeping, whether it's in maintenance, because you don't really have to deal with the people that much. But whatever you do not work in big box retailers. Stay away from them. I'm telling you, stay away. They are the worst. They treat you like you are not even a human being. And if I would have known all of that before I entered and started working in those places, I would have never, ever, 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 ever signed up for them. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's nothing like working and building your own brand. It may be difficult, it may be strenuous, it may be grinding, but it's worth it in the long run. It's worth it to be a sole proprietor. And I'm gonna say something too. I wish I would have worked for the city. I really do. When my mother told me go to the city, and I was like, no, I don't want to work in the city. I don't want to work for the city. I don't want to do it because I don't want to go through what you went through. Shit. I wish I would have worked in the city. Actually, you know what? You know where I do want to work at? I want to work for the New York Public Library. I know, and I'm going to tell you why. Many years ago, it was actually almost a decade ago, I actually worked in the library as a volunteer for adult literacy. And I'm going to tell you this, even though I didn't make any money, that was the best gig I ever had, and I enjoyed. I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. Besides selling phones, which was cool, except for I didn't really like the coworkers there, but the people are always what makes a job good, especially the public. And those students that were older than me, they could be my mother's son, my grandmother, and grandfather. They were very respectful. More respectful than managers working in retail, particularly the companies. And I'm going to name your company to stay away from. Stay away from Target and stay away from Costco. Yes, I said it. I don't care no more. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. I'm giving y'all game. Stay away from those companies. Stay away, especially Target. Stay the hell away from them. Okay? It's not worth it. I can't speak on Walmart personally, but I think it's disgusting that you got a multi-billionaire family that can't pay people beyond minimum wage an hour. Yes, I said it. Yes, I said it. So I'm going to move along with that. So I'm going to talk about the BS that I've seen in the news, read on the news. And I'm going to talk about the YouTube streets later on. But I'm going to go with Mr. Jussie Smollett. Ooh, Jussie Smollett. Ooh, Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett. Jussie Smollett. Ooh. Okay. First of all, I'm going to be honest with you. At this point, this shit is a fucking joke. Now, y'all remember the press said, along with, the prosecutors, if convicted, he'll be facing up to 4 years. No, I think it was 3 years and a $25,000 fine. Then the civil suit is going to come up where he'll have to pay the $130,000 for the amount of money the city paid for the investigation of the hoax. Okay, now I'm reading in the UK, the Daily Mail, that his sentencing is up to 20 years. Now, why they went from 3 to even 4 years to 20 years? Now, remember, it's 6 counts, okay? 5 counts he was convicted on. So they were saying originally that each count was up to 3 years. Now, 3 times 5 is 15. Even if the judge says, okay, it's going to be consecutively. Why is it now up to 20? Something isn't right in the buttermilk. And I feel as though they going to throw the book at Jussie. They going to hide. I think they want to silence Jussie. And I think they want to put him in jail. And I believe at this point, the judge is going to give him consecutive sentences. But he may not sentence him definitely for the whole 20. But I predict that it's going to be up to 10. I believe it's going to be up to 10 because Jussie is too cocky. And Jussie threw Don Lemon on the bus, which Don Lemon threw him on the bus. And I can't stand either one of the two. But I'll be honest with you. I'll take Jussie over Don because I feel in the strangest way, Jussie hasn't done the grimiest stuff or made comments about Black people as Don Lemon did. Don Lemon is definitely not a friend to the community. You can ask so many Black celebrities that, particularly Black men. He's not. Jussie is cocky, but see, Jussie got put into a situation and he wants to talk because in that appeal, he's going to say, I didn't do it. I'm not going down for this by myself. And he always keeps saying, I'm not going down for this by myself. So I believe that it's the prosecutors, but really people in high places, a la the DNC and politicians that want to basically silence him and hide him away in prison so that he won't talk, so that whatever he says won't be credible. So that's my take on Jussie Smollett. Ooh, Jussie Smollett, Jussie Smollett, Jussie Smollett. Ooh, yeah. Oh, and by the way, they say his first name is actually Justin, which I'm more inclined to believe because I can't see somebody naming their child Jussie post 1940. I mean, that's just real too country in my opinion, especially if his parents are supposed to be communists. You know, they do read a lot of books and stuff. So, I mean, forgive me for what I'm saying, but I can't see them giving his name Jussie. Jussie. I believe that his nickname, along with all the family's names, except for Journey, I believe those are code names. And I'm going to be honest with you. I believe that his family are sleeper cells, meaning that they're quiet and non-assuming until they're being activated. And that's how I feel. So moving along with that situation, I want to talk about I want to talk about the cream cheese shortage. Okay. So, as you all know, if you're from NYC, there is a cream cheese shortage. Now, the reason why it's more serious in New York as opposed to other places is because we're the capital of cream cheese. And it all goes back to during the immigration in the late 1800s in New York City. You had the Jewish people. When they immigrated, they brought customs. And just like other people that come here bring customs, because we did also. But they brought cream cheese. And cream cheese is like very New Yorkish. So when you think of cream cheese, you think of New York. Or when you think of New York, one of the things you'll think of is cream cheese. I want a bagel. And I love cream cheese. But I don't like cheesecake. I can't stand the shit. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like it. But a lot of people like it, and there's a shortage. So a lot of businesses are complaining because it's like, if we don't have our cream cheese, we can't make bagels. We can't make cheesecake. We can't even make certain desserts. And if we don't have it, we won't make money. And if we don't make money, we can't pay the rent. And if we can't pay the rent, we're closed. We don't have a business. And we're fucking sick of the goddamn mandates. And that's what caused the shit, the mandates, because the ships aren't being able to come through. There's a backlog because a lot of the workers aren't able to work because they don't want the you know what. And so there was a protest over the weekend about the mandates at the mayor de Blasio's house. And they say he a commie. It's alleged. They say he's a commie. But there's something sinister going on, and I'm going to actually do a live, and I'm going to actually give y'all the tea, because I know the tea about all of this. And I don't profess to be a psychic. I don't profess to be, a spiritualist. I don't claim to have been touched and like the Lord has revealed stuff to me. I really have a very good sense of discernment. Maybe it's a gift from the Most High, but I'm not one of these religious fanatics that be like, "Oh, Jesus touched my eyes and he showed me the way and he led me to the truth." And I know what's going on. And a lot of times they don't know shit. I'm not one of those. So on a later StreamYard, I'm gonna tell y'all the real tea about what's going on, and it's gonna surprise y'all because I'm gonna be real with it. China's the smokescreen for all the bullshit. They're just basically using them as a scapegoat for all the shit. They ain't innocent as far as the country, but they ain't the masterminds behind this shit. Believe it or not. So I'm just gonna leave it there. So that's that with the cream cheese. Hopefully they get it together. I haven't had cream cheese in 2 years. I don't think I want any right now, but I do want a bagel with butter. That I want. So moving along, I'm going to talk about what's hot on the YouTube streets. I'm going to talk about your girl, Latasha Transnia Howard KB, famously known as Tasha K. Okay. This whole beef with Cardi B that resulted in Cardi B suing her and taking her to court is like this. Cardi B is suing her for $3 million. I do believe Cardi B will win. I don't believe Cardi B will get $3 million. They'll probably mitigate it, or they'll probably lessen the award to probably $1 million. But here's the thing that's bad. Everybody is rooting for Tasha K to lose, who basically hates her, because there's people that hate her. I don't like Tasha K because I don't like what Tasha K has done to a lot of people on YouTube, because I witnessed stuff. What she did to Sweet Ma was the most despicable thing ever. And that was horrible. That was horrible. I also think that Tasha K lies to get stories, and she does it to everybody. I mean, if y'all remember what she said about Lisa Ray and the Brat, that wasn't cool. The whole Derek Jackson thing, which is what got her channel back up. I mean, the way she slaughtered him because he didn't want to do a story with her, and then he disagreed with what she was saying 2 years ago. Yeah. There are problems with Tasha K. But Tasha K doesn't do this stuff on her own. She's doing this with the production company. And her husband is also at the helm of this. And her husband, I gotta say, her husband has her to talk bad about American Black people. She never does this to foreign Blacks. She never does this to Hispanics except for Cardi B. And the only reason why she's going at Cardi B and went after her is because Cardi B did not want to do an interview with her. So that's when she started, picking a Star Marie girl to interview and just slaughtered Cardi B. And it worked for her in terms of her YouTube career. But I predict that YouTube is going to demonetize her channel. And what they'll do is they'll do it for probably a year to 2 years. And that way, all the money that she would make monthly will go to Cardi B. It'll just go to Cardi B. It's like, go to Cardi B, whatever. Just we'll give the money to Cardi B. Because that's what Cardi B wants. Cardi B doesn't want to shut her down. Because in an order like that, the judge can basically say, listen, you can never talk about Cardi B again. But you're also going to pay her. But they don't want to take down her channel. They're not going to do that. They're just going to demonetize it. But here's the bad thing. It will set a precedent for all YouTubers, whether it's the larger ones, the medium-sized ones, or the little tiny ones like mine. All of us will be under scrutiny because now it opens the door for anybody to sue who is famous based on them not liking what you're saying, or them accusing you of slander. So the T channels will basically be going kaboom. They won't be active anymore because it'll be too much. The fear of YouTube being involved with libel suits, because this is libel. This is slander. This is slander. Slander in the form of libel, because it's art is recorded. And then she wrote some of it too on her blog. But that's the whole thing with Tasha K and Cardi B. And this is why I find Tasha K to be dangerous, and more so her husband, because they didn't think this through. They should have left Cardi B alone, and they should have talked about her a couple of times, but they shouldn't have never said stuff that they didn't have proof of about her. And I will say this, I've been over the Tasha K hate train. I don't really care one way or other the girl at this point, but I don't want the judgment to basically affect all of us on YouTube, because as much as Tasha K is unethical, there are some people that don't want to see her lose just because of the legality of it. But this would be a lesson for Tasha K and her team at the end of the day. So now to other news on the YouTube streets. Hassan Campbell and Five God. Before I go into the whole Five God situation, I'm going to say that this week I'm going to do uploads on Hassan Campbell. I'm going to critique Hassan Campbell. I'm going to break down stories from Hassan Campbell. I'm going to actually do an actual StreamYard explaining why Hassan Campbell became a successful YouTuber, so you can understand what's been going on, because I've been studying this for a couple of months, because if you know, I was away from YouTube, but I had stopped watching his channel for a long time. But there is something that I knew about in terms of Hassan Campbell and his girlfriend. And Lord, please, 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 please. And I've been praying over it, because this is something that was told to me by a family member of the girlfriend. And it was, it was hood stuff, but it's nothing bad about her. From what I was told, a sweet person, just a genuinely sweet person. And I was also told that that there's something wrong with Hassan. I was told this, but I'm not going to go into the whole thing. But the family member confirms it and said stuff. But based on Hassan's actions, Hassan himself confirmed the shit. Based on the videos that I saw a couple of months ago, that basically brings out, and Sonetta basically exposed him, and what Sonetta has said, the cousin was what the cousin has said to me. And that's something that I'm going to speak on. It's going to be not long, but I'm going to speak on that. Another thing I want to say is that everybody who comments on Hassan has a right to comment about Hassan. And why I'm going to say that and why I agree is because the community of YouTube, in terms of the people that run this platform, allowed it to happen. Allow Hassan to be great. So therefore, we have a right to comment as the public. Now, moving along with Hassan himself, I want to talk about Five God. Five God needs to run away from Hassan and never look back. Even though Five God is not innocent, he was throwing weapons up in the air, pointing the Glock, at the camera, pretending that he was going through what's that thing when they fry your brain with electrocuted, execution style. He was being executed in videos. He's talking about NYCHA. He's talking about Black Lives Don't Matter. You was throwing signals and you was throwing the community under the bus with the shit. But as much as you two are a shitty person as well, You don't deserve to be scammed by Hassan. I believe some shit went down between Hassan and Five God, and they had a falling out, which is why when the whole thing happened, Hassan don't care. Now, many people are saying that Hassan might have had this shit happen, or maybe this is some bad juju, because everybody that's around Hassan either goes to jail or da 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 dum. You know what that means? Da 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 dum. That's what happens. But my take on the whole thing is that both of them are, in my opinion, both of them ain't shit. Because you got to keep it real about yourself. Five God has been in the game for a long time. And you go to Hassan Campbell to be your manager. You could have got managers in hip hop or just managers in general entertainment industry to pick up your career. And you haven't done any shows. And then, like, the pandemic is still going. I mean, the whole quarantine is going on. You could do shows now. Shit, you could do a concert out in the park. Hassan could have set up a whole lot of stuff for you, but Hassan is not in the music industry. And I looked up Campbell Soup Records, and I can't find anything on Campbell Soup Records. And I'm not being a hater or anything like that, but let's keep it a bean. What the hell is going on with a person who is in the entertainment industry and wants to be managed by somebody who is basically like infamous and controversial and scandalous only from YouTube? Hassan is not even scandalous in the main streets of the celebrity world. Like, put it like this. I think the only thing that Hassan Campbell can do, Hassan Campbell could basically go on a reality show. But he wouldn't even be the star. He would basically be, now, you know what he could go on though? And they'll do that because the United Kingdom, they love drama. They love to exploit people. He could go on Big Brother and move into a mansion with has-beens. Has-been entertainers for the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even 2000s. And he'll basically feel like the ultimate celebrity. That's what he wants. Don't let him fool you. He wants to be famous. He wants fame. He don't want to just be on YouTube. Because you know how in that video, Black Lives Don't Matter, you see a cameo of Hassan Campbell. Like basically being arrested in an interrogation room. That tells you everything right there. And then besides, remember he was on the back cover of Midnight Martyrs album by Tribe Called Quest. You could only be on that if you was a friend to Zulus or if you was trying to break in the industry. And I remember that because I read that in Vibe. So there's a lot with the whole Hassan Campbell saga. That's why this whole week I'm going to talk about Hassan Campbell. And hopefully Hassan doesn't get caught up in anything again. But because of this whole Five God situation, more than likely he will still be caught up in some shit. But Five God needs to run away, get manager, and he needs to pray and manifest it. And the best thing that would happen is hopefully a manager just walks on in and buys out his contract. So I'm tired. I think I'm gonna go to bed. It's really cool to test, and I like the avatar. I am going to do this more often, but I need to know something though, and this is really honest. So basically, before I did this, I downloaded the StreamYard app, but when I use it, it said try again. So I want to know what app is the correct StreamYard app to download on my phone, because I do all my videos, YouTube commentary, video live streams on my phone. I do it all on my phone, all on my Android all day, every day. So I want to know, what is there an app or is there not a StreamYard app? Because I see like a couple of them, but I don't know which one to use for StreamYard. Like I said, testing StreamYard, I'm new to this. And also, do you make money directly from StreamYard? That's another thing I want to know. But I like this app though. I like this feature. I was able to change my photo and everything because I really thought you had to use the photo from YouTube like you did back in the days of Hangouts. But I guess not. So this is your girl, Miss Analytical. I'm signing off. Oh, and by the way, I just did a new upload this morning. It's a forever to come through. I think it was being scrutinized by both YouTube and Spreaker. It's about Jaguar Wright. If you know what happens to Jaguar Wright, if you've seen her, if she's doing new music, if she's doing concerts, whatever, let me know. I've been looking up information on Jaguar and I haven't seen anything. I really like Jaguar as an artist, but I think once she landed in the hands of Tasha and Storm, everything got crazy and it got messed up. But let me know, and I pretty much really will be really grateful about it because I really like Jaguar. I really do. I think that what she did back in the summertime was really incredible. It was really brave. I do think she was angry about what happened to her career because it should have been big. Cause that song, Free, that was my song back in 2004. And I didn't think that this would happen to her in her career. I really didn't think so. And I love the What Ifs. I love that song. That's my jam. So, guys, subbies and subscribers. Oh, and also I have a new hashtag. So I changed my channel's name, and my hashtag is going to be two hashtags. So one is going to be hashtag Miss Analytical Experience, and another one is going to be I'm sorry. The first one's going to be Miss Analytical The Experience, like how you spell the. The second one is going to be Miss Analytical TV, and the third one is going to be MAE-TVP. Because I try to do it with like the question, the and symbol, but it didn't work. So the first one's going to be Miss Analytical The Experience. The Experience, Miss Analytical TV, and then MAE-TVP. Because my channel's name is titled Miss Analytical Experience TV and Podcast. So that's why. Because I'm going to be on an up and up. Because what I found out is that every time I hashtag Miss Analytical, all these chemistry, computer science, data channels was coming up, and people was telling me they couldn't find my channel. So now I know why. So your girl is signing off. She's going to sleep. But thank you so much. Thank you for listening, and thank you for peeking into the one person I see with the all-seeing eye. I really appreciate it, but I got to go to sleep. Take care. Good night. I'll be back in the morning. Peace.